Hello, thank you for tuning in today. I'm so grateful to have you here and I hope that you're happy and healthy and feeling good. Now, I apologise, this is a very impromptu video, my hair's a mess and I'm in my office. I don't think the lighting is brilliant and I'm doing this on my phone instead of my normal camera, so apologise if the quality isn't as good as usual. Welcome to my office. This is where I blog and do my coaching and plan and all sorts of other pieces of work. So I'm going to talk about my anxiety. So if you are feeling anxious or you suffer from anxiety, then I hope that this is helpful for you. If you've never suffered really badly from anxiety, but you've got a friend or a relative or someone that you care about who suffers from anxiety, then I hope you might find this useful as well. So I suffered with anxiety on and off throughout my life. I suffered from it really badly about 10 years ago. Well, actually, I suffered it for quite badly throughout my teens, 20s, early 30s, and then I did some CBT and I really got over it. And I feel anxious. Doesn't everybody, or most people, but I've really got a handle on it. I do meditation and mindfulness and I really feel like I know how to deal with anxiety. But the last couple of weeks I felt really anxious, and if you've not really experienced severe anxiety, it's basically, for me, it's different. It might be a different part of your body for different people, but for me, it's just a feeling sort of just beneath my ribs most of the time of tension and knots and that butterfly feeling. I feel like I can't concentrate and I get a bit of brain fog. I feel tired. I start to feel a bit depressed and low if it's really bad. And I just struggle to do anything. I struggle to focus and concentrate. And like I say, normally I've got a series of tools and techniques, so mindfulness techniques, meditation, various different things that I've talked about before. But these last few weeks, those things haven't worked so well. And I was thinking, well, why? Why am I anxious? And my dad hasn't been very well. And so I think that's part of it. I think the second lockdown has been tough as well. I thought second lockdown I'd be like, nah, done that before, come out the other side, I can cope this time. But you know what, I think it's harder this time and I'm not even sure why. Maybe because it's darker and colder and you can't be outside so much. Last time spent a lot of lockdown in the garden, but lockdown this time has been indoors a lot more. So yeah, I think there's a lot of feelings as well of sadness about what this year should have been, or I wanted it to be. You know, I've had trips cancelled and I've got huge wanderlust and I love to travel. So those things have been cancelled. I had big plans for my business which haven't quite come off. So I think I was slightly not depressed but slightly low about what hasn't happened this year that I wanted to happen. You know, I'm not alone. I know lots of people in 2020 have it's just been a crappy year, hasn't it? And I think I also picked up on a lot of tension around the US elections, even though it doesn't necessarily directly impact me. I couldn't stop watching the news and refreshing the results, and I know a lot of people were the same. So I think all of these things going on for all of us, it's really been difficult to keep the calm, keep the peace, keep positive. And I think I've done pretty well throughout the year. I've been doing my little rituals and writing in my journal and doing my gratitude stuff and meditation and all the things that I've talked about on my blog or on here that I do to look after my mental well-being. But how can I put it? All this stuff helps you on a daily basis to feel a little bit better. But sometimes you just hit a point where that doesn't seem to work anymore, and then you need to really wrap yourself in self-care. So for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've just literally hit the pause button a bit. I've stopped pressuring myself because I'm a very busy person. I like to achieve a lot. So I've watched a bit more TV, I've slowed down a bit, I've realigned my goals because there's certain things I was trying to achieve this year, and partly because of the pandemic and partly because of my own stuff going on. I just haven't achieved them, and I thought, actually, you know what, I need new goals, I need fresh goals, I need to start thinking about next year, not what has happened this year. So I've changed my focus, and I've started to really get back into the deep gratitude and find some positives for this year. So I said to my husband, I feel like this is just, and I know it's not just me, I'm not being a victim here, I'm not saying I've suffered any more than anyone else, far from it. There are lots of people who've suffered much more than me. A lot of my problems are first world problems, but I tried to think of some positive things, like what positive has happened, because I feel like this is probably the worst year I can remember. Between the pandemic and my nephew had leukemia, my dad's been unwell, like I said, I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Well, I have a few, but not everything I wanted to achieve. And I just thought, let's think of some positives. And I managed to come up with 5 things. So one of those things was that I have been able to complete some online training that I probably wouldn't have made time to do if my business was super busy. So that is really good. I've got a good sense of achievement on that. I've also really picked up the pace with my exercise, and I've lost some weight. There's a good friend of mine who we've been good friends for a number of years, but during this year we decided we just have a weekly phone call just to be good friends / accountability partners, and support each other. And so we go for a walk but talk on our phones to each other, and it's been really good. I've become a lot closer to this friend, and it's been a really important part of my year to develop that relationship and feel so close to her. So that's another really good thing. I've also managed to have a holiday. So I've had lots of holidays cancelled, but I managed to book a last minute short trip to Yorkshire. So I'm really grateful for that. And then I just feel like I've become a bit more resilient despite all of that stuff I said about feeling anxious. I feel like if I can get through this year and actually still have my wits about me, and I've had any sort of breakdown, then you know what, I'll be able to get through tough things in the future. So I can probably think of more positive things, but what I'm interested in is your positive things. So maybe take a pen and paper so that you can refer back to them when you're having a tough day. But how about writing down 5 good things that have happened to you this year, even if it's that you've just stopped taking certain things for granted, that you've enjoyed your freedoms. Maybe you've, like I have, developed a closer relationship with a friend or a family member. Maybe someone you know has had COVID and got better, and you can feel grateful for that. So things that you feel positive about this year, things you feel grateful for this year, write them down. If you want to, share a couple in the comments below. Share the love and the joy and help others to get inspired with this activity, because it will really make you feel better. Now, I've had lots of people messaging me, mostly privately, saying that they've been suffering from anxiety and they've been struggling this year. So if that is you, then I really, I hear you, I sympathise, I feel the same way. I think we just need to remember that this too shall pass. We don't know when, and I know it's hard to make plans, but start thinking about some fun things you can do when things start to open up again. Maybe write a bucket list, and it will be a bunch of stuff you're going to achieve or do or enjoy when the pandemic is over. Start to think about next year. What would you like to achieve next year? Obviously, certain things are not within our control, but there are still things that you can do. If you want to start looking after your mental health better, then check out sarahlouisesmith.com, because there's loads and loads of advice and ideas and tips on there of things that you can do on a daily basis to look after your mental well-being. It's definitely something for me that I have to do regularly. So if I don't do my mental well-being tools on a pretty much every day, but if I went 3 or 4 days or more without doing them, I really will notice my mood start to take a dip, especially at the moment when, quite honestly, I feel like fun is limited, and fun is a big part of your happiness and your joy in life. So as we're a little bit stuck at the moment, a little bit limited on what we can do, let's really take care of ourselves. So gratitude, positive things that have happened this year, and then if you enjoy those activities, please check out my website, because there's just loads of other ideas of things you can do. Meditation is the best thing I can ever recommend anyone. So I just thought I'd share a little bit about how I've been feeling, and I hope that you found that useful and insightful. If you did, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with any friends who might need it. I'll be blogging and vlogging again more regularly now that I'm over my staycation and feeling a bit more myself. So I look forward to speaking to you again soon. I hope that you have a great week ahead, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.